Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we'll be going from the 10th of August up until the 16th, but we'll first look at any games that have crept out without being in one of these videos for whatever reason, and then we'll move on to that week at hand. So which games are coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. Let's start with a game from the sponsors of today's video and their new release on the Switch, Golf vs Zombies. In this, you'll be taking your club and hitting the courses in a post-apocalyptic wasteland infested with the living dead. Traditionally in golf, the worst you had to contend with was sand traps, tall grass, or perhaps the wind, but here you'll have hordes of the undead to deal with as well as you try to collect bottle caps, the currency in this game, to upgrade your equipment. You could have sniper clubs, drones, movement detectors, or even exploding or homing golf balls. If you are low on currency, you could drive your golf cart through the crowds of zombies for profit or for fun, and the game supports 1 to 4 local multiplayer, meaning that you can set up some competitive hot seat action against your friends, or frenemies as they'll become. There are no friends in a post-apocalyptic world. Golf vs Zombies sells for £8.99, although there is 30% available off of this price at this moment in time, with that sale ending on the 16th of August in North American regions and going on for a bit longer in Europe, instead ending on the 24th of August. There will be links down below if you are interested in picking this game up, and just again another thank you to the publishing team for sponsoring this episode. Let's start with a couple of games that are already out then, and the first of those is World of Goo 2. Now, the original World of Goo came out in 2008 and I can't believe it was that long ago. I remember playing it on the WiiWare service, and it was a fantastic physics-based puzzle game where you needed to build up to a pipe to get your balls of goo into said pipe, using the goo to build structures in order to get there. This sequel is much of the same. I've played a bit of it already and thoroughly enjoyed it, although it does feel as if the physics have been improved, they're very fluid, and the puzzles are as devious as ever. You can also play in co-op this time round, which is a great addition. Doesn't necessarily make the game any easier, but it does make it quite a bit of fun as you help, in air quotes, each other complete the levels. Selling for £25.19, quite a hike up on its predecessor, but definitely a very good game in its own right, and as I mentioned, that one is already out. And the other game we'll look at that's already out is Broken Roads. This is a CRPG set in a post-apocalyptic world, and the gameplay features a morality compass type system which will influence dialogue, quests and character development. It's set in a desolated future Australia and blends together traditional and all new role-playing elements on top of a classless system offering nearly unlimited character development options according to the blurb. You can have up to 5 party members, and it includes turn-based tactical combat with a blend of traditional and original RPG mechanics. This one will sell for £31.49 or your regional equivalent, but there is currently 20% available off of that price, and that offer goes up until the 21st of August. Let's look at the games releasing this week then, and the first of those is Sam & Max The Devil's Playhouse. This is a remastered version of the point and click game that first came out in 2010 and is the third and final season of the episodic Sam & Max games that released back then. After the duo stumble across a mysterious toy that allows them to glimpse into the future, Sam and Max have aroused the attention of a host of villains from across the galaxy who are hell-bent on acquiring the magical toys of power to achieve their own ends. This, coupled with the increase in Max's psychic abilities, set the duo off on their adventure, and you'll explore odd locales, meet eccentric characters and solve brain-tickling puzzles in this bizarre paranormal adventure, so says the blurb. This is one that I haven't played. I have played one of the other seasons in this series, and as I mentioned, this has been remastered by members of the original team with lighting, lip syncing, cinematography, music and more updated. It releases on the 14th of August and will sell for £16.75, although you can get 10% off of that price up until the 31st of August.
Shouldn't I be waking up about now? We're on the case.
Freelance police, I heard a lot about you guys.
I have come to issue a challenge.
Next then we have Arco. This calls itself a tactical action game where your decisions shape the story and you'll journey through lush forests, sweeping plains and scorching deserts as you guide 4 unlikely heroes in their vendetta against the Red Company gang. You'll need to battle warriors of different nations, fend off greedy colonisers and slay monstrous creatures as you voyage across this enchanted land. It says that you'll need to cleverly plan your next move in a unique, simultaneous turn-based combat system, unlocking new game-changing skills and recruiting powerful allies as you go. It says that you can progress through each campaign as a different character with their own set of special abilities, and you'll watch the tale unfold from multiple viewpoints. I do love its art style, I must say. I've always really enjoyed game worlds that comprise of really like micro-sized pixel sprites. I think there's something about the combination that works very well. This one will cost you £15.99 or your regional equivalent, but you can get 10% off of that price up until the 21st. Also this week we have Elrentaros Wanderings. Here you can choose your protagonist and will go on a quest initially to help the locals in your town, although a series of events will see you wake in a different realm and you'll need to unravel the secrets of both worlds. It says there are 10 partner characters that you can form bonds with, and giving gifts to partners can deepen your friendships and unlock battle alliances in return, and as you gain weapons and armour through a number of different dungeon raids, you can combine these into different builds to tackle the dungeons as they grow ever more difficult. Not much more is said in terms of what else is available other than those dungeon quests, and it is selling for £35.99, which is quite a high price with so much unknown, but it does release on the 16th if you are interested. We also have Castaway, which calls itself a short adventure, and let's get the elephant in the room out of the way straight away. It looks very much like a Game Boy Zelda game. That aside, it says you'll be diving into a pixelated and retro universe, assuming the role of Martin, whose spaceship has crash landed on an uncharted island. There are 3 bosses to beat in what it calls a concise and delightful story mode, which will then unlock the Survivor mode, where you'll ascend a 50-floor tower with each level presenting increasingly challenging trials. There are a few different difficulty options and unique weapon abilities according to the blurb, and I must say the idea of having a very short story mode which then unlocks something else is quite an interesting one. It's just hard to get away from the fact that it is unmistakably using very similar assets to the Game Boy Zelda games. Just £6.99 though if you are interested, and this one comes out on the 16th. The penultimate game for the week then is the Sirena Expedition. You'll be exploring a mysterious abandoned underwater facility at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, looking for answers as to who built it and why it's there. It says the game only takes about an hour to play, however there will be some hidden content, and it's a 2.5D platformer with retro inspired visuals. It promises tense underwater atmosphere and horror and innovative puzzle mechanics. I do quite like the look. It looks like a PS1 game, that sort of style. It's selling for £4.99 usually, although you can get 20% off of that price up until the 23rd of August. Perhaps a cheap and cheerful one to pick up if you are looking just to blast through something in one sitting. And finally for the week then we have the Dadish Collection. This sees you playing as a dad who is a radish on a quest to save his children in 3 platforming adventures. This combines Dadish, Dadish 2 and Dadish 3, as you may have expected, which all told will be about 150 levels worth of gameplay. There are 15 bosses across the 3 games and 3 unlockable secret characters. I've never played any of these Dadish games, they're all available on the Switch separately I believe, but I have heard quite good things about them actually. Pretty cheap and cheerful for the prices you're paying, and this whole collection of the 3 games together will cost you £12.49, and it releases again on the 16th. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Do any of these games interest you? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget, if you are looking for eShop credit to pick any of these games up, you can use our website switchup.gg to get your eShop cards, and doing so will get you 5% of your purchase price back as cashback. We did have an issue with the site going down for a few days, so apologies for that, but it is now back up and running. And anyone that uses it, it does really help the channel out, so it's much appreciated if you do. And of course you do get that money back as cashback, as I mentioned. There's also links down there to other places such as PlayAsia if you're looking to import any games, Again, there's links down there, use the links, use the code stated, and you get yourself some money off your orders from there. A quick thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.